love iced coffee. If you'd like to buy me one, just go to buymeacoffee.com/fortherecordyourhonor.
Energy Supercross Saturday.
I'll have to call them back.
Please consider making a donation or leave a tip for the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, and subscribe is free.
Who is it, girl? Tell Mama. Damn.
Hello, package 4. For the record, Your Honor.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Gritty podcast, episode 10. If you are new here, we cover all the Supercross, Motocross information and details. If you love the sport as much as I do, subscribe and give us a listen. Also, tell us in the chat what you think about the discussion. We are always open to hearing other points of view. Did we miss something? Let us know. Today, there are a few topics that we would like to cover and focus on. For example, what's going on with the Weege, Jason Thomas, the Beta Bikes, Ken Roczen, Cole Davies, and more. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. This past weekend, we were in Denver.
Home of the Broncos, Mile High Stadium. People can do with some breathing. Less horsepower. Colorado. Kinda ain't the same without Tomac, but that's alright.
For round 16 of 2025 Supercross season.
Let's go.
During the broadcast on Race Day Live and Race Night, they have been having Jason Wygett, the Weege, all over the place. Something is definitely going on.
I'm pretty sure in a couple weeks he's gonna have a blue shirt like Jason Thomas. I don't know if that's like a I don't know if they make Jason Thomas always wear that blue shirt when they're all rocking the nice black button-ups, but seems a little degrading. Maybe I'm overlooking it. But yeah, Weege looks a little stressed out. It's kind of weird he's not doing too much on his own. Well, he's not doing anything on his own on YouTube. There's a little more to that story that Linda will talk about.
Well, I will say it seems like he's being punished, in my opinion, speculation. I don't know what for or what he might have did or said. It's almost like he was demoted and they are now toying with him like they did with Daniel Blair. Weege's skill is a play-by-play in the booth. He is fast and is excellent at rounding off, helping a co-host if they stutter, freeze, or make error. He is good to have beside you, especially if you tend to fuck up. Ricky.
Yeah, they always had him on before. I mean, maybe it was just the outdoor, but like I said, he's not doing his own stuff on YouTube anymore, and he kind of has to do it underneath a different name or something. Weren't you saying something about that?
Yeah, it seems like he has to keep some of his videos and projects separate, like Racer X, separate from like his own channel that he was doing. Now it's like not Racer X, I forget what the beginning is, but the Weed Show has now like kind of bounced around. He was kind of supposed to go to certain races, and then I guess he kind of backed out. I don't know. Something weird is definitely going on. But it also leads me to, well, back to Jason Thomas. Why do they always have to have all of them standing when they have him in the booth? When every time they have somebody else as a guest, they're sitting. Like Jace from Gypsy Tales, he's sitting. When Steve Mathis is on Race Day Live, he's sitting. So why only when JT is in the booth, the shortest guy around, they have to do that to him? Like, give him a bar stool or something.
We all know he's short. Just give him like a little 4-inch step. Just give him something a little bit, and maybe don't put him in the middle. I don't know.
Simply, they should just have all of them sitting. But I need to ask, why are they not showing qualifying Group C, the juniors, minis, and futures during race day?
That's exactly it. Instead of showing these guys standing there in their booth talking about the same thing over and over, points, this and that, which they can do later on in the broadcast when we're before LCQs or whatever. Show these guys, even if they're not that fast, and some of these Group C guys don't make the event half the time. Still, it's riding, and they're going around the damn track. Just show it. We don't need to hear and see all these extra people that, like, the same people that are kind of not really the big names, you know?
So going to the racing, I think we started to see a little bit of redemption from Juju with quite the return.
He was getting there. He was looking fast for sure in qualifying. He was definitely fast, but then Marchbanks looked good too, and then that ended up sucking. He tucked the front. A couple guys ended up, the track was really surprising people in the first couple laps. Jordan Smith, Juju ended up going down. But that was another thing. Jordan Smith and Faulkner, Triumph, those boys are hitting the deck a lot. Those airbags are going off every week. And Joe Shimoda had a decent first race. That was good to see. But then unfortunately getting tied up in the main and one of the turns. So kind of another, I don't know if you say disappointing finish, but usual finish. I think he was mid-pack. It'd be nice to see him get another podium one of these days, ever since that finger.
Yeah, well, last interview I saw him, he was talking about his finger, how it was still kind of bent. So that might be permanent. I'm not too sure. And if so, that can definitely affect his grip, for sure.
Even though Marchbanks fell down, he ended up on the podium again. So that's a couple times this year. Good for him. Even though he seems pretty awkward up there. Is he from the woods or what? I mean, he's got the beard. Seems just kind of like a quiet guy. Seems like he should be splitting some lumber.
When you said the awkward, I was not. It's either he just is dry at the press conferences after the race when he got podium, because it was giving off vibes of like, I don't want to be here. And I don't think that's him not being grateful. I think it's just like he's socially awkward.
Part of it is probably because of the horse in the room at the time, which we'll get to at some point. Deegs and Cole Davies obviously being up there. He knows they don't really want to ask him that many questions.
You're stuck on him being like a lumberjack or something because the horse in the room? You mean the elephant in the room? Oh my lord. Well, we might as well just get into it. Oh, the Haiden Deegan versus Cole Davies argument. This is a storm right now on the internet. I'm kind of going with Deegan on this one.
And I'll still go with Cole, but I've calmed down and I've watched it enough now to, I guess, say that it was Deegan's there to take. So I guess he had to take it, but I would still probably in the heat of the moment wouldn't be able to hold myself. So good for Cole. I probably would say I'm sick of getting hit by this guy or seeing the same guy hit other people. I just have that personality. If there's someone I see always body checking someone, say back in the day, down the hallway, the time he actually shoulder checks me, I'm going to shove him back or I'm going to do something, because that's just the type of guy I was. Win, lose, or draw, you kind of got to keep it real sometimes, and I don't know. I probably would have let my emotions get the best of me.
Yeah, I agree. Very, very classy. He kept that together and pretty much was what you would want from your rider in that situation scenario. You don't want riders that are going to be bad-mouthing each other on the stage, which I will say, to Deegan's credit, he didn't bad-mouth him. He actually complimented Cole and said, like, no, I don't have anything terrible to say about him. I have to ride and train with this guy all the time. And they are friends off the track. I don't know how things are now. I'm sure they've obviously had like a team meeting and a private discussion. But even from the first start of it, I was like, ooh, yeah, if I was racing in Deegan's shoes, yeah, I wouldn't obviously even go that close to my teammate. No. But things happen. You can't plan out, sometimes you might just change to a different line for whatever reason. And they just were in that moment and he knew he had to take it or else he's going to go down. So what can you really do about that?
Again, my only kind of gripe about it too is I'm sure Haiden kind of knows how Cole is. I think Cole kind of even looks up to him. When you see the guys in the pits, it looks like Cole's kind of just like, he knows Hayden's the dude. You want to be friends with him. He's just out there like it is another training day. He was riding the outside, which, yeah, not good. But at the same time, Deegs knows he's riding the outside the whole time. He's going to just keep going to the outside. He had a lap and a full lap to go. But, I mean, when you're shaking and you're racing, the juices are flowing. I mean, they were nose to nose, wheel to wheel. So, I guess he should have checked up. But like I said, he was just going to ride. He was just going to roll the outside again. He knew where he was going to be, and he just kind of cut him off. You will learn.
I don't think he cut him off, though. If you watch it, he kind of kept his same line. He didn't go directly into him. I think they just happened to perfectly tap in a slide.
Either way, Cole's going to learn from it, I hope. And hopefully he doesn't end up like Savacci after Osborne. And that's a whole nother thing. How did people respond to Osborne after that? And I still think it'd be nice to just see Haiden back off just a little bit. I know that's not him, but just sometimes you can't be the guy that's just, like I said, walking the straight line down the high school hallway, just checking everybody.
Well, he is going to back it down because he got what he wanted, and now he's going to go to 450. That's that. But that also brings me to the point that, like, you can't really hate on him. This was his season. It was meant for him to have this season. Yeah, it would be awesome for a rookie to take it. But look, he'll have his day. He'll have his time. Next season will be his year to shine.
I'll be curious to see how he respects the 450 guys. Just the whole thing that kind of bothers me, I guess, too. I respect his riding, but I was liking Juju, and he was just riding him the same way. Always clipping him, always banging on him. I guess it's just the head game he likes to play. Even though I don't think he's really that guy. He is and he isn't.
I think he's Haiden off the track and Danger Boy when he is on the track. His alter ego. He rides rough and aggressive, so that's what I think it is. But going into the 450s, I think those guys are going to be hard on him because they all showed support, love, and respect to Cole Davies after he was seen off the side of the track very, very upset, which was awesome to see the big dogs right before they were lining up at the gate, literally for their main event, went out of their way to do that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, AP was over there. Not too many guys, I don't think, over celebrating with the Deegs, but that's all right. And then AP had another good start. He's had a lot of good starts this year. And Malcolm was up there again, so that was good to see. Malcolm's been pretty fast again. I'd have to think he's going to try Supercross again. Don't you think? Or, I mean, this was the first time in, what'd they say, like 12 years? It was something crazy. So, do you think he'll come back again?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it'll be on Husqvarna?
It should. Honestly, that's when I think of him, I picture him with that bike, those colors, those little stars.
Well, hopefully Husky's around next year. We'll see what happens.
If they're not, I don't know where I can see him.
How about on a Beta? Those guys are actually doing pretty good. What if they had one notch level better of a rider? Or Triumph?
Yeah, that would be a good move for him, I think. Because it's cool to be offered kind of historical, I guess, in the sport, new bike and program.
Yeah, it's like up and coming bikes. Do you want to be like part of the team that kind of brings them to the forefront? Even if you don't get necessarily wins, top fives would be another step. Triumph and, like I said, Beta are doing pretty good. And then who knows with KTM kind of on the ropes with gas, and who knows with Husqvarna going down the line, obviously. I mean, who's less, Husky or gas? I mean, technically it's gas is at the bottom, I believe, and then Husky, but they make it sound like Husky's going to be gone first.
And don't take this wrong, but if he was to go with Beta, well, it's not really a lot of stress for him. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to have a huge expectation of him. Like, I don't mean that saying like, he's not that good anyways. He's pretty good. And it's always been one of those situations where I'm like, hey, if he had a better bike and stronger team and all the right parts and the juices, I think he would probably be winning all the time. So that would be interesting to see. And discussing riders that are currently riding, since we had a season of all injuries, what did you think about Ken Roczen's interview during the race?
Classic Kenny, in my opinion. I don't know, just kind of writing it off like no big deal. He was sick of riding Supercross, so he just wanted to get out and loosen up on a MX track and just tweaked it. Do you get mad at him for doing that? I don't know. He's got to stay in riding shape, right? But for putting himself in that position, I don't know. He's your guy, you tell me.
I don't know. I've been kind of disappointed in him for a couple of things the past year and a half, I'd say. And when I heard about the whole ankle thing, I was like, yeah, that sucks. I don't know why he went out and did that when he could just go outside, ride the bike, and just practice like normal, like everybody else right now. But what really was like, what to me was after that interview, I think it was like the next day, I saw on social media that he went to, I think, a Formula One event that was going on and posted all over like, yeah, I understand you have a fucked up ankle. Doesn't mean you're like stuck being home in bed. But that kind of just looks bad, don't you think?
Just makes you look a little bougie. But that's all right. Meanwhile, his kryptonite, Paul Webb, still pulling in a second, feeling like a turd. He looked like a ghost. Looked awful. But Sexton was like unstoppable. He was very fast. I mean, you got to give him the win. He was like fourth after the whole shot and reeled everybody in. And Justin Cooper, man, I think next year that guy, if he can figure out whoops or convince them to space the whoops out enough to where he can jump them, he's really fast, really fast. And after watching Malcolm come up to the Coopers. Yamaha, confusing. So was Justin Cooper blocking Mookie for Paul Webb so he could have the best points day he could possibly have?
I think so. And there's a few people out there that have come out to say they think so too. And in the press conference, when that was in discussion, you could see Chase listening. He was like lurking. And he had this like smirk being like, oh, so, that's going to be your game if that's the situation. Very, very, now that I'm like noticing things with Chase and like watching, I'm starting to see that he is very observant. And I think that is part of his, not strategy, but just his personality for riding. I think he's got like a journal on everybody.
He's definitely got a journal just to pump himself up. He probably got little drawings of each person. You could definitely tell that Justin Cooper was going slow, trying not to pass Webb. He could have passed him. I think Paul was about to puke in his helmet. He was going pretty slow, and you could see Justin looking back, just trying to block Mookie. Or I think he was just going to almost get out of the way at the same time. He didn't know what to do. He didn't want to lose a spot, but he didn't want to pass Webb.
Hey, if you're that type of teammate, that's fucking cool. You know, I'm down with that. I'd ride with that homie.
I just hope next year he rips. He's got the whole shots. He's just got to put it together. I don't mind him. He's not my favorite guy, but I respect him. You know, he's a clean rider. And the Yamahas are just, besides Chase Sexton and the KTM, honestly, I don't think it really matters what Chase rides. He's always going to be pretty damn fast. He'll probably always be podium, even on a shit bike. Yeah, the Yamahas though, 250s and 450s. Wow.
Dear Diary, I think today I am going to wear to the race my favorite attire, the Dalmatian print. Because let's bring it back. We know I love to bring it back. It's usually 2 times a season.
I hate the Dalmatian print. You talking about for Chase Sexton? Yeah. Well, I don't know. He's like Patrick Mahomes for me, I guess. He's just like he's like really good, but you don't like him, you know. You like to see him lose. Maybe that's just because I'm a Raiders fan. I don't know.
I don't hate the guy. I just can't stand him because he can't stay standing up on that bike. And when he does fall over, it's just a flop, and it's like a wee, wee. You know, it's weird. Sometimes it's weird to see, like, how the hell did that happen? How did you let that happen? And he's just like perfectly robotic in his riding technique and style, which is cool. You know, sometimes you got to be that like perfectionist, and that I think he definitely is. But I honestly prefer, I guess, a little bit of an aggressive rider.
I like the loosey-goosey aggressive, like Anderson, but I don't feel like he's going to dump you all the time. But yeah, Sexton mechanical. Just imagine knocking over a little baby robot. It'd be just flailing around on its side. That's what he looks like when he flops.
So one thing I would like to put for the honorable mention of this episode was the Yamaha Pulp MX Challenge. I think that whole concept and idea for the privateers was awesome. And even like Cooksey said on his channel, you know, gotta give credit to Steve Mathis. But I also would like to say they need to give credit to Kyle Chisholm. He did a lot of the helping of the planning and designing of the whole thing.
Gotta give the credit to where it's actually due. And I guess mine would be, let's see what this new two-stroke Kawasaki's about. It doesn't really matter to me if it's a 300 or not. The whole thing is the rules need to change about the 250 two-strokes being allowed to race in the 250 four-stroke division, not in the 450s. There's a good video. We'd have to check for the link or something. But horsepower-wise and just everything would match up better, and privateers would have a way better chance if they could race a 250 two-stroke and the 250 four-stroke, and that's how it is in every other race in America except for the pros. So it doesn't make any sense, and yeah, that's that.
Well, thanks for joining us, getting down to the nitty-gritty of all this race shit. All right, see you guys next time.